Sir, in this first slide, if you look at this, a large number of members have mentioned about the $10 billion economy. And of course, due to the lack of details, we always end up looking at this $10 billion. And that's really what the purpose also is, that there should be one target that drives our entire purpose, but there are multiple aspects connected to that one particular goal that we are trying to achieve. And in this $10 billion, so let me just put things in perspective, that when we started this target, at that point in time, the $10 billion economy was at 85,000 crores, which we came out by multiplying the then GSDP of the state at 44,000 crores, and it is said that we will aspire, or 42,000 crores roughly, we will aspire to double it, and that is how our 85,000 crores, which is a $10 billion came in. So if you look at this chart, I think this is one of the most important charts to look at. And what we're trying to connect, sir, that while we talk of $10 billion, it is not just a number. It is not just about the money of this $10 billion and the GSDP growing to it. There is a very large purpose behind this $10 billion. And it is linked to the 10 opportunities that we perceive and the 10 commitments that we would like to make. On top, the 10 points that are there are the 10 opportunities. By that we mean the areas which we feel that government should invest so that opportunities come out. And the 10 below are the commitments in terms of what is it that we want to deliver. Sir, I'll just give some examples from the different sectors that we have. And let me start with the tourism sector. And sir, just for, of course, the knowledge of some of the members, on the right side, so you can see some of the designs. The first one is the Tribal Heritage Center at Mandalgiri. The second one is the Rain and Bamboo Experience Center in Mawsyngram, which Honorable Member for Mawsyngram very proudly had mentioned that day in his speech. And so these are real projects which are in the pipeline. Funding for these projects has already been tied up. This project, work for this project, will start in this coming year itself. That is the calendar year. Now, so if you look at the numbers of tourist footfall, we had about 12 lakh tourists in 2018. We expect 16 lakhs. Now that we have going to receive 16 lakhs this year, and we target to have 21 lakhs, that is 2 million tourists by 2028. And if you look at these numbers, this goes in line with the investments that we are making, with the aspect of the airport which we are trying to open up. Open up means expand, so that larger aircrafts can come in. It goes in line with 4 to 5 more 5-star hotels that are coming up. It goes in line with the 2,000 homestays that we plan to construct. It goes with the different investments in terms of the locations which we're trying to build up. And if you look at these numbers, we have calculated among ourselves, I didn't bring out the details out here, that based on this, we should be able to create direct employments in terms of the hotels, in terms of the restaurants, the homestays, the different travel agents, the different drivers and taxis, so on and so forth. We expect that we will have at least a minimum of 21,400 direct employment, and direct and indirect employment put together at about 59,919. Sir, through NRLM, again, this is a very powerful movement. We have been able to create different kind of groups, self-help groups. The numbers are quite clear out here, that we had close to about 5,894 self-help groups in 2018. And today we have 51,674 self-help groups. The different employment generated or livelihood generated through these self-help groups has been close to 2 lakh employment and livelihood in the last 7 years, and we expect that we will be able to double that in the next 3 years, because now the hard work of actually creating the institutional system was time consuming, but now that this institutional system is already set up with 51,000 self-help groups, now the question of only exponentially growing it and giving them full support. Sir, I would also like to draw your attention to my attire today. And I want to share with you that this shirt that I'm wearing is made from eri. This shirt, again, is a made in Meghalaya product. The cloth is maybe one of the most comfortable cloths that I'm wearing. And just to share with you, sir, this particular eri has been colored with natural dye. So they use the Sotun local leaves along with the bark of a tree called Whitelam Pirthat, and iron ore and turmeric has been used to create this wonderful color that is there in this particular eri silk and this shirt that I'm wearing. And I've made more than 15 shirts like this, and I wear them very regularly because they're extremely comfortable. And I want to share with you, one day I wore this and I had gone to meet some of the ministers. So the education minister, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhanji, was so fascinated, he has asked me to send these eri silk cloth to him because he wants to make kurta and other shirts out of it. And similarly, we'll be sending the same to the Honorable Prime Minister's office and other cabinet ministers' office also, to promote our textile, our own weavers, and to be able to create that market for them. And today, all of this has been because of the investments that we have made. And so I would urge the honorable members, you must adopt this. You must promote this. You must use this so that not just by talking, but by our small actions also we are able to support our weavers and our self-help groups. And this is a small way, but a very powerful way to give the message, sir. And you must be aware, sir, that Yasha Rimbai, who is one of the founders of the Eri Weave Private Limited, had also received a 12% equity deal in the Shark Tank India Season 4. I think she deserves a round of applause. And this again, sir, is a strong reflection of the kind of support we've been giving to the NRL, through the NRLM, which is the National Rural Livelihood Mission, by creating so many jobs and livelihood opportunities. And this will continue. Again, just to give an example to you that it's not just a $10 billion economy. There is a plan behind how this 10 billion will impact our common people. So this is a movie that has been funded by the Meghalaya Tourism and the Meghalayan Age. And just go down. Okay, just remain there. So this is a movie about the history of the Khasi culture. One glimpse of it, one part of it. And it's called The Blood and the Border. And this film represents the culmination of a trilogy of films by Wanprang Dingdo, a Khasi filmmaker. And this trilogy undertakes a comprehensive re-examination of Khasi society in the Northeast. Now, so if you can just come down below. So you'll be happy to know that this movie will be screening in London on the 14th of March, which is a few days from now, in Portland Hall. So this is the kind of exposure and support that Meghalayan Age Limited and the tourism department is doing, not just for Wanprang, but there are many other filmmakers who we are financially supporting today, so that we are able to bring out our history, document the different cultures. So as I mentioned earlier, so it's not about just talking about it. These are real actions that we are showing. It takes time. So the script of this particular movie took almost 2 to 3 years to make. So though we knew about it, we didn't talk about it that time because we were not ready to talk about it. So rather than just talking about it, we thought we'd just show this slide to you. So this is what's happening, sir. So like that, there are many filmmakers whom we are supporting, and I'm very proud, though we will not be there on 14th to see this movie being screened. So again, this is most probably one of the best designs unofficially mentioned to me by the concerned ministers in the center. They were highly happy and impressed with the design that we had, doing it in a much more traditional manner and not with just simply concrete and bricks and cement, but giving it a very, very kind of a traditional touch to it. Of course, the architectural designs have been taken from different areas, but just to share, sir, that this was done with a lot of expertise, and we were one of the first states to submit the proposal, and obviously we were one of the first states to get the sanction also for this. Already tender has been done and work is under progress. So similarly, if you look at the new secretariat, and so funding for this project is already done, the Unity Mall. So new secretariat again, we went through multiple processes. We looked at new, old designs, modern designs, sustainable designs, and ultimately, though it was a very difficult choice for us, we went ahead with this particular design because we looked at the next 50 years, 100 years, 150 years that a structure like this would have to sustain. And so keeping the sustainability in mind, this was put in. So the third one is again a very ambitious project. Again, funding for this has already been procured from Government of India, part funding. Again, this has been done because of the implementation of the tourism challenge mode that I had mentioned to you in my last debate, that there was a challenge fund and we were able to submit the projects on time, and among the Northeast states, we are the state that got the highest amount of 200 crores because of, again, the timely proposals and the quality of the proposals that we submitted. So if you can see financial year 21, it was 7.7%, and the Government of India had allowed us to do that. Now in the 2022 and 23 are the parts where, and 24 are the parts where the honorable members have raised concerns, and CAG also has mentioned it now. So what we have been maintaining, that if you were to remove the SASCI, the Special Assistant to States on Capital Investment, if you remove that 50-year interest-free loan that Government of India gives, our fiscal deficit is the yellow line that we have. So if you look at 2023, our fiscal deficit is at 3.8%. Not 6.0%, and in 2024 is at 3.5%, and in 2025, 2.6%. And I'll come to SASCI on why this should be, why we don't put SASCI in the calculation for fiscal deficit. And sir, just to share that we have already written to the Ministry of Finance and to the AG, asking them that SASCI should not be included. The money that we get from this interest-free, 50-year interest-free loan should not be included in the fiscal deficit calculation. And that is one clarification I want to make, and the next slide will make things very, very clear for everyone. So it is at 6.0% as per CAG report, because no direction has been given to them by Ministry of Finance to not include SASCI, and they included SASCI in the calculation of debt, whereas it actually should not have been. An Honorable Finance Minister has assured me that she will be speaking to the AG and informing them that this calculation of SASCI should not be included in the loan that is taken by the state government. Sir, the SASCI is a very special scheme that is given by Government of India. This is a 50-year interest-free loan that is given to our state and to all the states. So this is more meaningful for small states like us, where we have got very limited sources, not like large states like Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. And therefore, Government of India, keeping that in mind, focusing on capital investment only, came out with this program called Special Assistance to States on Capital Investment, SASCI. Now, sir, this year, Meghalaya will be taking 2,450 crores under SASCI. This is the highest that we have ever taken, and it's actually based on the efficiency of every state government and based on the utilization that you do, that Government of India further sanctions. Now, to give a small understanding of what this means for us. Sir, in finance, there's a concept called discounted cash flow. Discounted cash flow, and a concept called net present value, NPV. In basic simple terms, what NPV means is that what is the value, what is the net present value of 1,000 crores 10 years from now? What is the value of that today? That's what net present value is, NPV. And we do it in order to calculate the value of a company. So normally, say for example, if you show your revenues, that every year my revenue is going to increase. So it's 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores, 3,000 crores. But at 3,000 crores 3 years from now is not 3,000 crores today. It's much lesser. So in order to be able to get the present value of that 3,000 crores, which is 3 years from now, there's a formula. So they put interest rate, and then they put a addition part to it, then they discount it and then bring it down to the value. So that's in a nutshell what NPV means, the net present value. So we calculated the net present value of 2,450 crores from today. That means, because this 2,450 crores is something I have to pay back at 50 years, I have to pay back in 2075. So if I have to pay back 2,450 crores in 2075, what is the value of that 2,450 today, when we pay it back in 2075? And so the net present value of the 2,450 is 83 crores as of today. That means we are only spending 83 crores compared to the 2,450, which is going to be paid back, because there's no interest, sir, in this. Please remember, we have to only pay back the principal amount. So the net present value of 2,450 crores, which we will be paying back after 50 years, the value of that today is 83 crores. These are based on finance terms, sir, and numbers, and the interest rates and all these put together. So that's number one. So therefore, this is actually not a real loan. It's not like a market loan, which requires me to pay interest and pay back the loan in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years time. No, sir. Nobody is going to ask us questions till 50 years from now. And therefore, if you create the value of that today, it's 83 crores. That is the beauty of this particular scheme. The second beauty of this scheme, sir, is that there is a provision called the Consolidated Sinking Fund. I had mentioned this to you last time also in the House. Based on this, sir, we have to put 0.5% of the different loan components into this Consolidated Sinking Fund. Now look at the beauty of this, sir. For this particular 50-year loan, whose net present value is 83 crores, we have to put 12 crores in the consolidated fund every year for the next 50 years. And that 12 years will continue to give us interest. And you know, sir, what the value of that deposit that we make from now on for the next 50 years is going to be? At 2075, is going to be 5,155 crores. Which means when we have to repay for 2,450 crores, we will actually have 5,155 crores, double of what we have to pay, because of the fact that interest is not applicable. So this is how finance and hedging works. This is how terms and conditions of finance department are created to ensure that no state goes into any kind of a debt trap. And we have to follow these principles. And it's based on these principles, sir, that we are taking the loans. But as correctly mentioned by our honorable member from Umsning, that we have to take it in a calculated manner. There has to be provisions. There has to be ways and means in which we'll be able to repay those debts back. And as I mentioned, sir, this may be one of the best ways to fund our capital investment projects. Because though we are taking 2,450 crores today, which has to be repaid after 50 years without interest, that amount is only valued at 83 crores right now. But I think at the end, I have tried to explain, as I said, and project to the entire House and to the public at large regarding the work that has happened, the vision that we have, and how we will work towards moving towards that vision. While we do all of this, I have also tried to explain how the jobs will be created for our youngsters through the interventions that we have. And more importantly, while all these interventions and expenditures have been made in the past and will be made in the future, the misconception that this is being funded by loans is completely incorrect. And we have shown how these funds work and how the money comes in, and that maximum of the funding that has happened in the past and which will happen in the future is going to be funded by our own resources and not by loans and a different kind of debt that members are concerned about. It's a genuine concern, and I appreciate. I think it's important because it is a impulsive reaction where we look at numbers and say most probably it's from debt or from loan. And so my responsibility to clarify that, and I hope that through this reply I have been able to shed light on this entire issue of externally aided projects, entire issue of SASCI, and the entire issue of how our own state resources have gone up because of the work that we have done with the Finance Commission. So with these few clarifications and a few words, and I hope that I have been able to address some of the concerns of the members, I once again, sir, present this budget and for the approval and clearance of this August House. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. As there is no further business before the House for the day, sorry.
Please allow us some time.
Clarification?
Yes,
oh,
that
sorry.
is the usual practice.
I'm very sorry.
Before any other member would like to seek clarification, I think I take this opportunity to, at the very outset, thank the Honorable CM for exhaustive reply, dwelling on number of areas of concern, and particularly rightly in addressing those concerns, and also reflecting the kind of strides that we have been able to make till now. I appreciate that the efficient utilization of EAP. Earlier it was 90:10. Somehow out of that 90, Government of India subsequently post 2014 said, no, it will be 90:10 in the 90 that is left with the Government of India. That's why it ultimately came to the 72:28. But I think I have shared this earlier also. These are low-hanging fruits. The best thing that has happened for the state is these EAPs, but these are basically because of the fiscal health of the state. Now, irrespective of the your fiscal deficit vis-a-vis the projected borrowing, etc., I did intently listen to the presentation and submission. Our concern about this borrowing which is covered under EAP, this is one thing which we should aggressively follow. Earlier, every tax proposed, every revision of tax proposed used to be something which required a mandate of the House. But with the new regime of GST, we have lost this privilege of voting for any proposed new tax. But this whole responsibility lies with the government. Therefore, this issue must always be flagged in the GST Council so that our concerns are taken care of. And another thing I would like to also, before I wind up, to take cognizance, please remember that earlier we were in transition from VAT to GST. We asked Government of India to compensate us for all the losses because it was in transition. So these figures are because of that also. So I hope the whole endeavor will be the collective desire to ensure that the state is positioned in the right path of growth and prosperity, and we will look at to extend all the support necessary to the government for the implementation, effective, successful and transparent implementation of these programs. And I hope I will get this assurance from the government that every program being implemented will be done effectively with transparency, and also the issue of developmental gaps across the state will be taken care of.
Yes, sir. I have noted the points of the Honorable Leader of Opposition, sir. And just to add one or two points only, that number one, a very valid point, that the loans that are taken, especially market borrowings, sir, are never utilized to repay the loans in the interest of past borrowings. That's an absolute no. And that has never happened, at least in the last 7-8 years, and will not happen also in the future. That's something that we are very particular about. Sir, at the same time, REMI is something we have been working on. It was, in fact, during the time of the Honorable Elo that he had started this entire process of the REMI. It was requiring a bit of technology intervention, so some experts required. We are still working on it, but it has got a very big future, no doubt about it. And we are engaging with the farmers and with experts to promote that. So we are taking it forward, and I do look forward to seeing the shirt, the REMI shirt that the Honorable Elo also will wear next time. At the same time, I also want to just mention that Honorable Elo had mentioned about the taxes. Yes, when it comes to the indirect taxes, the ones that are come through GST, that is on the goods and services tax, in those areas, of course, the revenue has been going up. But when I was speaking, so I was referring to the direct taxes, which is the income tax and the corporate tax, which is devolved through the Finance Commission. And in those, sir, the formulas that are put in are very, very, particular and in detail. And you really have to work with the Finance Commission to tweak those particular formulas. And depending on small tweaks here and there, can lead to large revenue. As I said, for us, it was a 0.1, 2 or 3% increase. But that 0.123% increase led to almost close to 200 crores of additional revenue per month for us, because it's that 0.1% of the entire country's direct taxes, which is the corporate and the income tax. But yes, rationalization is going on the process for GST. I'm part of the GST Council as Finance Minister, and the Finance Minister of the country has put up a subcommittee, a GOM, a group of ministers, to review the taxes being paid under GST and rationalize the rates so that people will don't have to pay so much of taxes. So that process is on. We hope so that in the next few meetings in the GST Council, this issue will be presented and some decision will be taken. Thank you, sir.